If you don't want to hear about periods, if you don't want to hear about menstrual cycles, if you don't want to hear about uteruses and reproductive systems and all of that stuff like that, please click off this video. It is not for you. What's up, friends and besties? It's your girl SaunyaLiné, and I am back with another YouTube video. Y'all, I'm back on YouTube. I'm back. Yes, back. Okay. This is a great time for me to come back because I want to share this journey that I am going on. I want to share it with you guys. As you know by reading the title, that I am having a hysterectomy. Okay, so I just kind of want to share with you guys a little backstory on how I got here and why I chose, I repeat, why I chose to have a hysterectomy, because it was my choice. All right. Growing up, when I first started having menstrual cycles, back up. If you don't want to hear about periods, if you don't want to hear about menstrual cycles, if you don't want to hear about uteruses and reproductive systems and all of that stuff like that, please click off this video. It is not for you. There are some people who need to know, who need to understand what is going on with their bodies, okay? So I want to share my journey just in case somebody may need some help and somebody may need a little light shed on why they are going through what they are going through. Okay, because when I was younger, I just did not know. So being younger as a girl, when I first started to get my period, I did not know why it was so long, why the pain was so bad. Like, I've been having painful periods my whole entire my whole life, for real, since, you know, I started. Did not know why. I just thought that, you know, periods were painful. It was just what we had to go through. Didn't know how much pain I was supposed to feel or anything like that. I just didn't know. I just knew when that time came that it was going to be painful and it was going to be long. So I've always had like 9 to 11 day periods. When I had a short period, like 5 to 7 days, I was counting my blessings. Because, I mean, I really didn't have very many periods that was short. I started on birth control when I was younger, when I first got married, because I didn't want to have children right away. But I got pregnant anyway while I was on birth control. But when I started on birth control, it did kind of regulate my periods a little bit, but they were still long. But they did come like clockwork, which was great. So, you know, I thought it was great because I knew when my period was coming. If I wasn't on birth control, I had no idea when my period was coming. Sometimes it came twice in a month, whatever. I just didn't know. That's just a little backstory on, you know, the chaos I've been going through since I started having my period. Okay, now fast forward to an adult woman. When I got married, got on birth control, bam, all of that. Had my first child, got an IUD. Now, when I got that IUD, I didn't have no period. Oh my God, it was wonderful. I mean, it was wonderful. I didn't have to have no pads, no tampons, no none of that. Okay, so I ended up taking that IUD out because we wanted to have another baby, and we ended up having another baby. After the third baby. After the third baby, I got another IUD. Wonderful, honey. It was wonderful. I mean, no periods at all. For a whole 5 years, I kept that. It was wonderful. I didn't have to worry about, you know, bleeding or anything like that. But I still experienced cramps. I still experienced all the pain that comes with the period. I just didn't have the bleeding. Okay? So anyway, I got my IUD taken out in 2014, and I ended up getting my tubes tied. Okay, that was that. Then after I got my tubes tied, my periods came back with a vengeance. It was almost like making up for lost time when it came to pain and heavy bleeding. Oh my God. I mean, it came back like, girl, You tried to get rid of us, but you couldn't. You could run, but you can't hide. And we back. Okay? It was a mess. Okay? So anyway, came back harder and harder and harder. So I was only having pains when I was on my period. And I was like, okay, it's just when I'm having my period. I could deal with those days. We'll just, I'll get through it. Still did not know until I started, a lot of times you don't know things until you start talking to your girlfriends. That's why it's always good to have some really good girlfriends, okay? Because you don't know stuff until you start talking to your girlfriends. So I started talking to my girlfriends, letting them know, girl, this is really bothering me. It's been going on my whole life. I'm just tired of it. I don't like having heavy periods. I don't like having all this pain, and the pain started in my stomach, in my back, all of that. And it was like, well, girls, your girls will tell you, you need to talk to your gynecologist about that. You need to let them know what's going on, because you could have some really serious problems going on. Seeing that I had 3 C-sections, all of my girls were cesarean babies, okay? So I had 3 C-sections, which built up a lot of scar tissue. And I'll get into that later in a few minutes. Now, so they told me to check with my doctor. I go to my doctor and I ask my doctor what's going on. Okay, so when I asked my doctor about it, she was just saying, we can put you on a pill called Provera. It's kind of like a birth control pill, but not a birth control pill, whatever. It's called Provera. They put you on it to try to regulate your periods. Well, that did not work. I took it. It did not work. I think for me, Provera made me feel worse. Now, let me tell you what happened after I started taking the Provera. I was hurting all the time. So this year, I mean, literally, not just when I was on my period, because my periods would come and go, but the pain would stay. So now I feel like I'm always on my period. That ain't cool, and it ain't the move, okay? I got children. Honey, my kids got stuff to do. They in all kinds of stuff at school. I need to be an active parent. How can I be an active parent if I'm always in pain? So I go back to my doctor. This Provera ain't working, okay? So the doctor takes me off the Provera and says, we need to start talking surgery. And I was like, surgery? What kind of surgery? So, of course, when your doctor tell you something, you go back to your girlfriends, especially the ones that's done went through some stuff like this. Okay, it's always good to have somebody with some experience. That's why I'm doing this video. I'm going through it, and somebody else is gonna go through it, and you're gonna need to hear what I got to say so that you can feel better about your situation, and so that you can make a decision, because it's up to you. Now, people were telling me, oh, you can take a lot of organic, natural herbs and drugs and stuff like that that'll help you. You don't have to get a hysterectomy. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't heard of nobody who took no natural herbs that helped them with an oversized ass uterus. Okay? So, I chose what I felt was best for me. Number 1, I am an entertainer. Number 2, I am a social media influencer. And I don't have time to be in pain. I got stuff to do. I got to get in front of the camera and talk to y'all. Not only am I a YouTuber, I am a streamer. Okay? We'll get into that later. I'll tell y'all about that in another video. It's the bomb. But anyway, so I told my doctor told me we can either do, well, let me back up. My doctor ran some tests on me, and she told me that I have a lot of scar tissue built up from my C-sections, from those surgeries. And also there's a possibility that I have endometriosis. Endometriosis cannot be diagnosed without surgery, right? You have to do a laparoscopic surgery in order to test tissues and stuff like that. And I didn't want to go through that. I'm a one and done type of person. So I was like, we're not doing no surgery to tell us that we need to have surgery. We're just going to go ahead and do the surgery we need to have one time. So she was like, well, we can do the ablation, or we can do a hysterectomy. Who not getting the ablation is me, because of course I went and talked to my girlfriends, honey. And I had 2 girlfriends that had the ablation and end up going back to get a hysterectomy. Now, what would I do that for? So I called my doctor. I said, I made up my mind. Let's just take the uterus out. Okay? Let's get rid of her. She's getting evicted, honey. She cannot stay here anymore. This is not the move. So we are going to evict our uterus. Okay? So we're having a full hysterectomy, a total abdominal hysterectomy. Now, the reason why I have to have a total abdominal hysterectomy is because I've had C-sections and they're not going to do it laparoscopically. My doctor told me that she's not going to be able to do that, so I have to have it abdominally. So I have to get a cut. I already have a cut. I know how that feels. Now, I had to prepare myself mentally for this journey that I am going on. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to do videos about it way sooner than now, but I wasn't ready. I feel like I'm attached to everything in me. My organs, I feel like it's a part of me. I've been had it since birth, okay? And I feel like I'm attached to it. But at the end of the day, it's gotta go. It's gotta be a better quality of life than this. I have to live, honey. I want to live. I don't want to just exist. I don't want to just be here. I want to live my life. So I made a decision for myself. I made a decision for myself to take care of my body the way I feel like it needs to be taken care of. So we are doing this, okay? For those of you who are considering this, I hope that you watch this journey and it helps you to make a decision, because only you can make a decision. I'm not doing this video to make a decision for anybody. I'm doing this video and this series of videos because I made a decision for myself. Okay? Now, I was supposed to have my surgery on February 28th, but I ended up having some issues. My insurance wanted more tests ran and all of that stuff like that. So I had to, the hospital had to move my date. It just so happened that it have to be a whole month. Okay, so my surgery today is April 2nd. My surgery is in 3 days. My surgery is April 5th. Okay, so your girl is very nervous. Sometimes I get really emotional just thinking about it, but it's just time to get it done. I'm a little nervous and excited at the same time. I'm excited because I know that there is glory on the other side of this, okay? I know that there is life on the other side of this. I'm very nervous because I'm having surgery. Nobody likes to have surgery, okay? But I do have a very strong support system surrounding me, which is my husband and my children, my besties, my mom, my sister. I have a very strong support system, so I am not worried. I will be able to recover and I will be able to, you know, to be stronger than ever afterwards, okay? And hopefully I'll be back singing in a minute, y'all, because I'm ready to sing, honey. Anyway, that's it for this video. You guys continue to watch out for my future videos on this topic, because I will be sharing, hopefully I can share the day of surgery. My husband will be vlogging that day, so y'all know Kevin is quiet, okay? So he don't do much talking, so we gonna pray for that vlog, okay, that it come out well. But I want you guys to see what I'm going through when I'm going through it. Nothing is off limits for me. I already told my husband I want to film this whole journey, and sometimes my kids will help out because my kids have a little bit more of a bigger personality than my husband does. So sometimes they'll take over the camera and, you know, help out with you know, just showing everything that's happening and what's going on. That's it, y'all stay tuned for my next video. I love y'all so much, and until next time, bye.